Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly.
We remember the words of Reverend King, who said, "He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps perpetrate it. He who accepts evil without protesting against it is really cooperating with it." And as a Holy Cross school, we are called to answer Dr. King's challenge and to heed the words of Jesus, who proclaimed, "I give you a new commandment, love one another."
All across the land, what is your vision? Who will take a stand? Though we live in troubled times, this is not a time for fear. One man can make a difference. What I must do is
What are the issues and principles that you stand for? Who do you stand up for? How far would you take these beliefs? To jail? To your death? As Americans and as Christians, we rightly consider the Constitution and the Bible to be ours, and they speak truths that we hold sacred. What do these truths call for? What do they expect from us? How do we, like Christ, stand before injustice with our lives on the line? Where does brutality exist today, and what will we do about it? Who is denied their rights today, and how do we respond? We are reminded of our role in the Good Friday Gospel, where the crowd calls for Pontius Pilate, "Crucify him, crucify him." How does our faith challenge our place in the crowd?
Dr. King declared that nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon, which cuts without wounding and ennobles the man who wields it. It is a sword that heals. In a world that seems to grow ever more violent, there is always the temptation to fight back, to become violent ourselves. That we, like Dr. King, would have the courage to work for peace and to answer the call of Jesus to turn the other cheek.
Dr. King ended his drum major sermon by imagining what he'd like to have said at his funeral. He spoke. "Tell them not to mention that I have a Nobel Peace Prize. That isn't important. Tell them not to mention that I have 300 or 400 other awards. That's not important. Tell them not to mention where I went to school. I'd like somebody to mention that day that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to give his life serving others. I'd like for somebody to say that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to love somebody. I want you to say that day that I tried to be right on the war question. I want you to be able to say that day that I did try to feed the hungry. And I want you to be able to say that day that I did try in my life to clothe those who were naked. I want you to say on that day that I did try in my life to visit those who were in prison. I want you to say that I tried to love and serve humanity. Yes, if you want to say that I was a drum major, say that I was a drum major for justice.